way, Joe Skelly.
97 seconds.
Lead the way. Tell us
Bays
the story.
Boys podcast coming to you live from your smart fridge,
Everywhere.
your Echo Dot,
Your Ring home camera.
your Ring camera.
Here's what you do. You set up a radio. Oh, brother.
Oh, why?
You set up the smart fridge inside. You take one of your kids' cell phones. You call your cell phone on it. You put that in front of the smart fridge, and then you walk around outside with your other phone and listen to it.
Oh.
The best workaround ever.
That seems rather complicated, but I'm intrigued. I'm
Right.
intrigued by your workaround.
Or you set up all your Ring cameras so it's constantly streaming our podcast
Through the
Ring cameras.
Through the Ring cameras.
Yep.
I
Someone
guess
walks up to your house, instantly they're getting hit with it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I guess that's better than your nephew turning all the cameras around
Yeah.
and watching cartoons and not thinking anybody knows
Not
he's watching
working.
cartoons.
Not working. It's funny that you mentioned that one. I saw one today of a thief doing that. It was like a little girl who's getting driven by the parent. She runs up, she goes up, she's got halfway tilted, she's going to pour it in, and then sees the Ring camera, stops, puts it down, grabs one candy, and walks away.
Ah.
I'm like, uh-huh.
So the Ring camera is a strong deterrent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Then she tried to hit the house next door again or something, though, and didn't.
I failed.
Yeah. So, but this is interesting, though, right?
What? The Ring camera stops kids from stealing candy off your porch?
No, that people should be playing our podcast through all their smart divisions in their home
I love it.
all the time.
Did you ever imagine your lifetime that you'd be playing over somebody's refrigerator?
That's a good question.
There was a really long, dramatic pause.
That is a great question.
Never in your entire life.
To say that our artwork, our blood, sweat, and tears, all of our time is showing forth on some lady's fridge. Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Somebody's Echo Dot, somebody's
Yep.
Alexa,
Yep.
somebody's Pandora. I don't know.
Somebody.
Are we even on Pandora?
Somebody. No.
Oh,
at
that's the one that
home-
won't let us on, right?
Right.
Oh, speaking of which, don't forget to write Pandora and say, why the fuck won't you let the Bays Boys podcast on your platform?
We're the voices in these women's ears when their men are not around and they're listening to us on their smart fridge.
Oh,
That's scary.
or maybe not even just their smart
They're
fridge.
Scrubbing away and cleaning tile and...
You're assuming that's what they're doing. That's a pretty big leap.
Well, why the fuck would you be in the kitchen for an hour straight?
Maybe you work from on your laptop in your kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Yeah, why not?
Ugh.
Working at the counter.
Horrible acoustics.
For what?
Listening to music. So
Oh.
yeah, I guess they're listening to our podcast. That makes sense.
What about somebody's Echo Dot in their house?
I don't support those. So I don't know about those.
But you're already on it. It's too late.
Well, we can't control that. So, but yeah. Better to be there, I guess.
You should thank Bezos for that.
Thanks, Bezos, and your dick rocket.
You think Steven Seagal listens to us? I mean, we've mentioned him enough.
You know he does.
How about Joe Rogan? You think Joe Rogan's listening to us?
At least once.
If anybody out there has a link to Joe Rogan, why don't you hit up Joe Rogan and tell him to check out our podcast?
At least once a week.
Maybe he'll have us on.
Right.
And when we go on the Joe Rogan show,
We can tell him to go get his shoulder worked on in Mexico and to try DMMT's 1000s and that he should start a podcast. A new one after ours aired.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
Eat a dick, Joe Rogan.
But not really.
Yeah,
But really, but not really.
but maybe.
I mean,
Just
would
because you can
would
throw
it,
better
what
whip
if Joe
kicks
Rogan's
than me
what if
now,
Joe Rogan's
Rogan,
people tracked you down tomorrow on your ghost phone
I would be afraid.
and be like, "Hey,
I would be afraid. 'cause
Tyler, I
Joe-
don't know. We
Joe
want
would-
you and Joe Skelly to come on the show."
Joe would try to make you smoke his weed, and I feel like that shit would just put you under. Like
Oh, that's what-
graveyard status.
Is that what you're worried about?
Yes.
Are you just worried about
He'll just be like, here,
being on the
here's
show?
here's 5. No, I don't care about that. He, like, what would you, like, there's like 5 lines to say to Joe Rogan. Hey, I'm a huge fan. I watched all your comedy stuff. I watched you on Fear Factor. Cool, what's up? How are those steroids treating you?
Hey, Joe, can we talk about how you guys got kicked off the air with Fear Factor?
Right,
Like you took it a little too far?
right.
Like
That's about it.
nobody wanted to guzzle down that quart of
Yeah.
yeah.
Steve-O did that,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
but nobody normal.
Graduate of clown college, or He got kicked out of clown
kicked
college.
out of clown college or quitter or whatever you want to call him.
Right. Maybe we should make the engineer apply to clown college.
Ooh, that's a good idea. He has to be funny, though. He just falls asleep everywhere. How's that going to work? Is sleeping funny?
Maybe he could be the mime.
He comes out.
Maybe he could be a sleeping mime.
Falls asleep in the middle of the circle of the elephant parade.
No. We'll make him a mime, right? And he can act like he's trapped in a glass box.
Oh.
And then he could sit on a chair and go to sleep.
Right.
Like,
sleep through the whole show.
What are you supposed to do trapped inside of a glass box, right?
I don't know. Play with cards. I'm not really sure.
He said, when I get done slinging pizza and I bring it home to you, so leave me the fuck alone. Maybe I'll apply for a clown college.
Right.
Right.
You might get in.
How mad would you be? How mad would you be if the two of you applied and he got in before you?
Oh. I mean, somebody's got to go.
Now I'm intrigued.
I already went a bunch of times, so I'm good.
You didn't go to clown college.
I went to college. I can't imagine it's much better if you're wearing big ass shoes at the desk. You know, I just don't see it.
Do you think clown college has lectures?
God, yes. God, yes. Just fucking sitting there listening to them talk about the dynamics of a fucking pie being thrown. You know, this is how you do it without breaking their nose type shit. Just stupid shit, you know, like.
How long is clown college?
I don't know. That is a good question.
Is it like a 6-month?
No, it's got to be more than that.
You think so?
Well, yeah, because there's police departments you can get on in 6 months, and pretty much everything has a longer academy than the police department. So it's got to be longer than that.
Wow.
Yeah, see what I did there?
Yeah, I see what
I did there?
I see what you did there.
Okay.
I'm just wondering how long clown college is, right? Can you do clown college through correspondence?
That's a good question.
I mean, you can do Wiccan magic through correspondence, as we learned.
1968 to 1997, the Ringling Brothers one is no longer.
There's got to be another one out there. Clown college just didn't fold.
Is clown college a real thing?
Listen, here's my thing. I'm equivalating clown college with train hoppers.
Says they closed in 97, dude. The Barnum and Bailey one did.
Oh, well,
here's a list of top clown schools in the U.S.
There's more than one.
Del Arte International. Oop, fuck. Some sort of like spam thing just showed up. That's one of them, I think. Celebration Barn Theater. Celebration Barn Theater.
This is making for wonderful airtime.
The Maine's Center for Immersive Physical Theatrical Training. Pig Iron. Pig Iron Theater Company is dedicated to the creation of new and exuberant performance works that defy easy categorization.
Click on that one. I am intrigued by this.
Circus Center. It's literally, this is just a list. Ooh, 24 weeks.
24 weeks.
That's what this one says.
Okay. Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Half a year.
Wow.
6 months.
Award-winning Philadelphia-based theater company, best known for its experimental theater. The company has been touring with their unconventional in-house productions since 2004. That's one called Pig Iron, if you want to be in that theater of clowns. Named for its Russian Muslim heritage beginning linings.
Is that what?
Pig Iron.
You just made that up.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? What kind of name is that?
Pig Iron?
That sounds like I'm going to join your school and you're just going to fucking send me off into the Eastern Bloc to be sold. Like,
wow.
Bro, that is a horrible name, Pig Iron. And their fucking logo was like a red star.
Well, okay, that's kind of confusing.
Right.
Maybe it's based off of old Russian clown stuff from the Russian circus. I don't know.
I don't want to be part of your clown shit anymore. Does anything about this podcast seem like it's supposed to be funny, Joe Skelly?
It's supposed to be, but apparently it's not fucking Eeyore.
None of this clown talk is funny.
It's funny.
We've established that clowns aren't funny.
They are fucking not.
What about the Joker? He was funny.
I
thought everything he did was funny.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Am I the only one?
Apparently you're the only one. Maybe
I thought he was a funny guy.
Maybe that says something about your personality.
I don't think so. Personalities are just what kind of shoes do you wear? Okay, let's not get crazy.
Is that what it is?
There,
All right.
there it is.
You change your personality like you change your shoes.
You could.
I don't know about that.
What about? Yeah, I got nothing on that.
All right.
So, a fully grown human could swim through a blue whale's arteries.
Is that how big the arteries are?
Yeah,
You've found some really interesting things lately.
those are gross. That's gross. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, remember the old when you were a kid, they used to say, "Oh, blue whale's heart's as big as a VW bug."
I didn't hear that as a kid.
That's what I always heard
Where did you hear that?
in school. Like in school.
Is that what
Somebody
they
in
were
school would say
teaching you
that.
out
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
They didn't teach that
A
here.
blue whale's heart is as big as a VW bug. You could sit in it. And I'm like, why the fuck would I want to know that? Why is this ever going to be concerning to me? Unless I'm headed towards the beach, which I'm not.
What if you became an oceanographer?
What the fuck would I do that for? Oh, speaking of bitches in the ocean, I saw this cutie patootie scuba diver girl. She was getting in, and this was really interesting. First time I've seen this. I watch dive videos all the time, but the
What?
first time I've seen this fucking broad put her face in the water to check the water before diving in. Everybody else just fucking suits up, checks oxygen, and dumps in. This lady was like, I'm gonna put my face in. She put it in, fucking came up, like stood there for a second, and then a shark came like right at her.
What?
As she was like stepping into the water.
What?
Right. So I think it kind of like, even if that 2 second delay, if she wouldn't have checked, even though she didn't see, I don't think she saw the shark swimming from the distance. Even if she hadn't done that little micro check, she would have been fully submerged when that shark was perfectly up on the ladder. And he came up to the ladder, opened his mouth, full fucking everything. I mean, boy wanted to chew. And I was like, oh, I've never seen anybody sit there though and dunk head to check and then be like, okay, it's time to go in.
All right. So,
Which I thought was
from my own experience,
really interesting.
I've never done that.
Oh shit! There it is.
I've never done that.
Right. From the mouths of babes here.
Just
Really,
right off the boat into the water.
Right. So I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
So I'm not crazy.
Maybe
it
happened to her because she did check.
Oh, I don't know, man. I gotta send you that video later.
Maybe if she just gone in, the shark wouldn't have done that.
That old boy came right up for a kiss, mouth fully open, everything. I was like, you could have stuck your hand in that bitch if you wanted to.
And so this
Gator
is
style.
another reason, right? Gator style. This is
Right.
another reason you don't go into the ocean.
Well, it's just safer,
Just safer.
you know.
All right. Would you be an Arctic explorer? There's no woods. Would you go to
That's a
Antarctica?
good question.
There's
Well,
no
we'd have to
woods.
take a boat though.
You can fly there.
Hold on. Speaking of all of this stuff, did you see that video the other day of someone talking about how the map that we have that they give out to people is incorrect?
Uh-oh.
And I can't, like, there's no fact for me to stand on here, but there was a very weird example that even in my peanut-sized, non-traveling brain kind of thought about. They were talking about the equator, and they said, look, if you really cut this map up the way that it is and had this really ping all the way around, that technically it would be like West Virginia is a tropical island because of where the equator would sit based on where they quote-unquote describe it compared to where they visually put it on an actual map that you see in like schools.
Oh, I have heard this.
Right. And I was like, they explained it. Now, again, I can't remember all the numbers off the top of my head, but they could explain it that per GPS coordinates, they were like, these maps are inherently wrong.
And the reason the map that's the globe, I think it was the globe map, right?
Right.
Globe.
Something
the globe
like
is
that. Right.
incorrect because what
Right.
they did when they made the globe, they wanted the United States to be at the center
That's what it was.
of the globe.
Yes, they did mention that. That's exactly what it was. And they said that because they put the United States at the center, the way that this is constructed, the way that it would bend wouldn't make sense. So it doesn't technically fit. So it really doesn't make a real live sense.
And
then
that there is a map that really shows the world as it is.
Right. And they brought up Greenland and Iceland as an example, stating that the normal map shows, Greenland being as small, but inherently one is much larger. Greenland's much larger than Iceland.
Yeah.
And they were talking about that.
Yeah.
So that is a thing.
It is a thing, yes.
So maps are just wrong.
Yeah.
They've been teaching kids, making kids remember But the example was the craziest part because she was like, so basically, if this was real and the equator was traveling in this direction and this bearing, that would put like West Virginia in a fucking tropical state. And I'm like, oh, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So that's got to be wrong.
Yeah. And then they had the picture of what it would really look like.
Right.
What it should look like.
Right.
Yeah. And they were talking about landmass sizes are depicted incorrectly.
Right. So if that's
like
true,
how Africa is way too small on the
Right.
map. And
Right.
Africa should actually be a lot bigger.
So how is that possible? How do we have 9,000 globe maps printed?
Because it became the accepted thing.
That's fucking ludicrous.
It is ludicrous.
They taught me that in school and told me I'd need it for a job. Guess what? I never have.
And you're not in shipping.
No. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
yeah, it doesn't matter to you.
But and my point is like this is a base thing that people teach you to accept.
Again, and it's incorrect.
All right. Well, you know what? We're just gonna move on with that. There's no
Dude, that's so way far off of.
Yeah, but,
you could be swim through the arteries of a blue whale.
Yeah, I know.
And
well, we were discussing what we were taught as in school as kids. Right?
Oh, right.
And that made me think of the map thing because I'd meant to make a mental note for you for later, but I didn't. So it was stored right here in this love box,
right in the old brain housing group.
That's right, baby.
It's been rattling around in there.
Yeah, like 100,000 things to fucking
bing, 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 bouncing around inside that empty box.
Here's this one that we got going on. Let's take it rowdy to the rear. Have you ever heard of the comb jellyfish?
No, I'm not familiar with comb jellyfish.
Yeah, me neither. They have another name called.
You can't even read your own writing.
No, I can't even read it.
Do you need a flashlight to read that?
No. It's not that. It's that I didn't write it down. Because past Tyler was like, listen, my guy, you see the Latin word here? Well, let's not butcher it.
So don't write it down at all?
My present time is like, hey, man, you know what? I've had a few to drink. Let's try and butcher this. And past me, who wrote the notes, is like, nah, dog. We know you're going to fuck this up in the future, so we'll just leave it off.
All right, so
you ready?
What's so special about this comb jellyfish?
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Scientists have discovered that its butt disappears.
What do you mean its butt disappears?
Exactly.
How does a jellyfish have a butt?
First of all, that was my question.
All right.
I was going to ask you. I thought maybe you've seen some jellyfish butts.
I've never seen a jellyfish butt.
I've never seen a jellyfish, so...
Oh, you've never seen one?
Not in person.
Not on the beach?
No. Is that a thing?
Yeah, they wash up on the beach all the time.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know
and then
there's...
you step on them.
No.
And then people got to piss all over you.
Hard to do when you're wearing Converse. Anyways, so...
Walking around with your boogie board, trying to pick people up on the beach?
So, okay, there is...
That's how they knew you weren't into surfing or boogie boarding.
What, my Metallica shirt?
No.
That should have been the dead giveaway.
Right, the fact you were wearing a Metallica shirt in
Black Dickies and
Chuck Taylors.
Right. Fully dressed
on the beach with your boogie board or your surfboard.
Right.
Can you teach me how to surf? And they're like, no.
Right.
No.
They were like, fuck you.
You're not even prepared for this. You're not even ready.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Go away. I would have done it too, man. I would have done it, but lack thereof. Anyways, so the comb jelly or the sea walnut.
Ooh, that's a weird name.
Its butt disappears when it's not in use.
What?
Swear to God, dude.
So it's got a disappearing ass.
That's disappearing ass.
So it eats and then it gets rid of whatever
and
it does.
And its butt appears when it's in use. There was a scientist.
I guess that's a way of saving space.
Right. Sidney Tam of Marine Biological Laboratory out of Woods, Massachusetts, told New Scientist that there was absolutely no documentation of any other animal who had an anus that would disappear when not in use. And so this jellyfish is allegedly the only one that they've ever found. And the butt literally disappears when it's not in use. What I don't understand is the jellyfish is like 97% water. So what exactly are they eating?
Oh, jellyfish?
Yeah.
Eat all kinds of stuff.
That's weird because they look like silk floaties.
Right.
They don't look like anything.
Right.
So I'm like, I've never... Do they eat fish? I mean, am I confused? What the fuck?
Eat all kinds of stuff.
Okay, well, apparently this one can eat and not show its bum. How crazy is that, though?
But see, you're also the same person that didn't believe that they were milking horseshoe crabs for science.
Exactly.
Like fucking Blade.
So now I believe all these weird things that I read.
Right, you have to.
So this broad found the jellyfish without an anus, people.
That's
Anusless.
Anusless jellyfish until it needed one. And did it make one on demand?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It fucking appears when it's being used and then it disappears when it's not. How the fuck is that possible?
Science.
That is
science.
Fucking astronomically insane. No pun intended.
That's science.
That's science? I would like a butthole that disappears whenever I'm not using it. Just for safekeeping.
Oh, okay.
You know, so in case.
Okay.
You know, you're
when they clone you.
When we're in the Amazon and I don't want things crawling up there.
Oh.
I need it to disappear.
But yet again, that's another place you wouldn't go. We've established this.
But if I had a disappearing butt, I might.
What if you had a job that made you go to the Amazon? Would you go?
Oh yeah, I don't care. It's got to be a job.
So your rules change.
Joe Skelly, we've established this. These are rules to live by, which at first I thought I was crazy until I kept meeting guys like you. Then I realized it's okay that we only show up to the weird stuff for money. And I realized that I'm okay with that. And my border of weird shit is okay for money.
All right.
Like you got scratch coming, you got a job. A job is a job, right?
Job's a job.
Job's a job.
What would you?
She's looking at me like I'm crazy. If they're giving us enough money to go hunt the gators, the 38-foot gators.
Oh, down in the Everglades.
We'll go.
Yeah, because you're.
But I better have kit. I better have money. I better like not have to worry about money for the next few months when I come back from getting this gator.
The first time the gator comes out and tries to get on that
I'm
airboat,
blast
eat you,
that motherfucker into Kingdom Come.
You're not just gonna quit and be like, I'm done.
No.
You're not gonna punk out.
It's gonna be you and me throwing M1000s off that motherfucker. What's that you said here? Fetch.
Right.
No.
I think that was one of the rules. You can't gator fish with grenades.
Right. Right. Which is ridiculous.
You had to ethically kill the.
Yeah, you got to.
It wasn't even the gators. It was the snakes.
Gator.
It was the snakes.
Yeah. Again, ridiculous.
Ethically kill the snakes.
Do they want this to be like Snake Island? See our previous episode for Snake Island.
Yeah.
That's Florida, bro. Who would want to move to Florida? Stretched Busas. Okay. The Island Boys. Okay. Typhoons and hurricanes and fucking lizards in your pool taking
and
a
Zika,
shit
and
because
Zika
it's
virus.
warm. What the fuck is a Zika virus?
It comes from the mosquitoes.
Oh my god, and Western Nile and all this other shit. What the fuck, bro?
Giant pythons crawling out of your toilet.
Right. Nobody's getting my bum. I don't have a disappearing bum like this sea walnut fish or jellyfish. No, but the doctor actually said that in a microscope through examination wasn't nothing visible. That's kind of weird, dude.
If you cut the head off a python, with a machete, one swoop, is that an ethical kill?
I have no idea.
I'd say so. If you take the head off one shot, I mean, but they had whole rules,
killing
right?
In one shot is not insta killing either, though. Too. I mean,
if you remove its head, it's instantly dead, right?
Oh no, it is. But like you were saying, is it? Which one's faster? Are we arguing
neurological speed? Didn't they say you had to use a bolt gun?
Right.
Like on
Are
a
you
cow?
Out of your fucking mind?
Who's gonna hold the head while you bolt gun it?
I better have fucking buckshot for years. I'm going out there like the little fucking Yosemite Sam cartoon with 9,000 shells full of buckshot.
But then it ruins the skin, and it's no longer good for purses or
I thought
shoes.
Our job was for killing these motherfuckers. What's the job here? Because if I'm a collector and purveyor of skins for the rich, I'm good on that.
All right.
If that's the case, we're going to the old fat factory. Wink, wink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know how that's going.
And make soap.
Yeah, bro. If we're down there to exterminate, we're gonna need
an invasive species.
Yeah, we're gonna need buckshot. A lot of it. We're gonna need some of Daddy Elon's fucking flamethrowers.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Right.
I like that.
Right. We'll have a sentry team for the lookout team.
Right.
I try to get taken down by no anaconda, like I'm fucking Ice Cube on a raft.
Like Ice Cube.
Fuck out of here,
dude. That movie was terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
So is Snakes on a Plane, but people keep making these movies.
It's so
and then
bad.
It was like there was a chupacabra on a cruise ship.
Oh, it's so bad, dude.
Look, here's another rule to live by.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Joe Skelly rule to live by.
No cruise ships?
No, don't yell chupacabra in a bus station.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying.
It's coming out of nowhere. We're not really sure how that works. It's coming out of nowhere.
I was thinking about it because the movie was the chupacabra on the cruise ship.
Right. That's horrible.
Just a simple rule to live by, and this is my PSA. Don't yell chupacabra inside of a bus station.
Oh, my God.
Just don't.
I just try not to yell at bus stations. That's pretty much how that goes.
Why
does Joe Skelly have rules that allow yelling at bus stations is the real question that nobody's answering here. Right.
Why does Joe Skelly have rules for traveling through bus stations?
Yes. Like a hobo.
Right.
Like a hobo.
I'm
traveling with convicts and escaped prisoners.
That is a fact. That is a fact. My man was straight up like, oh, so I was doing this stuff called ice all night long.
Oh, my God.
And then the guy upstairs started playing music I didn't like, so I went upstairs and chopped him into little pieces. Yeah.
Shout out to that guy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Or no, he called it glass. That was back in the day when they called it glass.
Right.
They called it glass.
That's funny.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit.
Have you ever heard of Alfred P. Southwick?
Alfred P. Southwick.
I think that's how you say his name. Southwick.
Southwick.
Yeah. You ever heard of him?
And what's it in reference to?
Well, he's a dentist.
Is he a serial killer?
No.
No.
Oh, maybe. Could be considered a serial killer. He's a dentist who invented something. Can you name anything dentists invented? No, did they invent that?
No.
Oh, I thought that would be cool.
I'm just,
do you know
dentures?
Anything that... No, I don't know if they invented that. You know what dentists did invent that I learned?
What?
Cotton candy.
A dentist invented cotton candy?
Yeah, which makes no sense to me. I'd like to know
more
I know
why
about
they did that.
Service. Why?
To get more people to come back to them.
Right. Oh, okay. So, like, I'm giving you cotton candy when you come and visit me?
No, I'm going to give you... You should eat cotton candy.
So it rots your teeth? I mean, that could be a thing. Is the M&M, Snickers, Reese's Pieces...
Pieces? Reese's Pieces?
Is that entire kingdom built on deception and lies?
No. Fuck no, because E.T. said they were cool.
So just cotton candy was made for the dentist?
I don't even know. We haven't even got to this. You just said...
He's well, I'm saying dentist in general, but you said that's why they invented it. You think that's why?
Dentists have the highest suicide rate of almost any profession on the earth. Did you know that?
They do.
That's
next to cops, postmen, and there's another one that I always forget. That's really goofy. It's a really regular one. What the fuck? Taxi cab drivers. I always forget taxi cab drivers.
Really? I had no idea. I knew
exactly.
I knew the dentist did because the dentists have to deal with the fact that they inflict pain on people every day.
Yeah, that's weird. Because that could be any doctor.
Unless you have a really good dentist who doesn't inflict pain.
That's part of the reason I don't like the medical stuff is because I'm like, no matter what you're doing, if the worst stuff you're showing up to, no matter what, you're not edging around it. That's all I'm saying.
No, there's no getting around that.
No, right. It's one thing to inflict pain on somebody. It's one thing to inflict pain on somebody that you don't want to inflict pain on, and at the same time be trying to help them. That's a mess. That's a mess. That's a hodgepodge.
Right.
So, dentist, watches.
So the guy created cotton candy.
No, this guy didn't.
Oh.
I was saying a dentist invented cotton candy.
So what did
this guy invented something totally different.
What's that?
So he watches somebody die by grabbing a generator. Right? Grabs the wrong part of a generator. This is like
somebody he saw grab the
wrong. This is like pre-1890 type shit. Right.
Okay, but I think your numbers are off because let's talk about electricity. When were they working on electricity?
I don't know when.
Well, okay, all right, go on.
Right. I'm not the fact checker. Anyways, he sees some guy die because he grabs onto an electrical box or some shit. Comes up with the idea that an electrical chair would be better than fucking killing people by hanging.
So a dentist invented the electric chair.
Yep.
Boy, this took a dark turn.
I know.
You went from cotton candy. You went from fucking cotton candy to an electrical chair?
It's all relative in my mind.
Okay. They are nowhere near the same fucking thing.
Cotton candy, electrical chair, and dentist. All things I don't want. But yeah, could you imagine? Witness some dude die and you're like, hey, electricity looks faster than hanging, so we should do it this way.
Oh.
And I'm using the air quotes. Sorry for all the dentist listeners. You're a medical professional, so you come up with this way to dispatch people.
All
Bro,
right.
I think guy had some wires
this is supposed to be more ethical.
Right.
This is a more ethical death than hanging.
And then in 1890, they administered the first one, and he had to be zapped twice because the first one didn't do him. I bet they weren't using that cute little sponge at first.
I don't even know if that was... Wow.
Right.
I don't know if that even went the right way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. See, now you know why dentists are always trying to off themselves.
Well, wow, that's...
Well, you just said it's depressing. Look what they're known for: cotton candy and electric chairs.
I would have never put the two and two together by any means.
I know.
Wow, that's kind of sideways.
I know.
That's totally different than the direction I was going to go with today on this show and what I was going to talk about. But hey, whatever.
Dentist?
Nope.
Dentist?
Nope. I was going to talk about...
Joe Skelly can't think of anything but a dentist
No, I can totally think of some other things. You ever heard of the chicken cannon?
Nope.
So there's a cannon that was invented by the military.
To shoot chickens?
That shoots chickens.
To what? Shoot them over to people on islands that need food?
No. No. They shoot frozen chickens.
Oh, even better.
Right? Because they needed to test bird strikes on airplanes.
Oh, yeah, so they could shoot them into jets and stuff?
Yeah, they shoot them into jet engines and they shoot them at the windshields to see,
Do they do this while they're flying?
No, they have the things on the ground and just shoot the cannon at it, right? Because and I listened to some people talking about, do you know
again
how bad bird strikes are?
Right.
Bird strikes are terrible.
They're really
and they're
horrible. Can bring down a plane, all that shit.
Right. If you want to know how bad a bird strike is, remember when Fabio was riding on the roller coaster and took like a goose to the face?
Right. Oh my.
Do you remember that?
Yes, vaguely.
Oh yeah. He got his whole face smashed in by a goose that happened to be flying by while he was on a roller coaster.
Oh. That's thin.
What do you mean that's thin? You know how bad that must have hurt?
I'm saying, like, the odds of that are super thin.
The two of them impact.
Just the perfect time.
Oh, yeah. This huge male model, right? He's on the cover of every dime store love novel, right?
Right.
He's in all the commercials at the time. And then he gets his whole face crushed in by a goose or something at like 90 miles an hour on a roller coaster.
Jeez.
They're like, ask that guy about bird strikes.
Could you imagine? I couldn't.
I mean, well, oh my God, here we go. I couldn't. Matter of fact, you don't even go on roller coasters.
Yeah, I'm smart.
You've never had to worry about a bird strike on a roller coaster. But for those of you that ride roller coasters and never even considered a bird strike before, now you will be thinking about that. Every time you get on that
PSA episode.
There's a PSA episode.
Don't go near dentists and bird strikes.
Roller coasters.
And by the way, that same guy who is inventing the turkey shooting machine for the military is at that stupid fucking club where that guy who's got to feed the dodo bird Coke. They sit around and talk about how shitty their assignments are. Dude's like, I'm glad I went to college for 5 years for this bullshit.
Dude, if you're getting paid...
This is where my tax money goes.
If you're getting $250,000 a year...
He doesn't get to do any of the blow because they're constantly testing him. So, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? You got to pee in a cup every 3 days?
Listen.
Some dude
named
Jim.
You don't think shooting frozen turkeys or chickens, that shit would not be fun? That'd be an amazing job.
Listen, not if some little tiny private named Jim has to come by and hold your wanker and make you pee in a cup every time to make sure you're not doing the blow the dirto birds are doing. That's what they're doing with the birds after they do too much blow. They're like, just give them to the turkey guys. They'll fire them into a fucking F-15. We're good to go. We're all collecting money on this motherfucker. They mark it all as a loss, the plane too. Dude, and then NASA takes it and they take it into their graveyard of planes and they just hang stupid lights and build treehouse bridges to each plane so they can fucking travel to it. Those bastards.
The fuck are you on about?
Doing fake shit.
You just went so far left turn.
It's because it's just all a conspiracy.
Fucking
shooting fucking turkeys and shit. They ought to shoot a cow at it.
Because that's a huge worry when you're flying a F-22 Raptor.
What if he hits a cow coming down?
Right.
We need to know.
Well, and yeah, what do you saw Twister one too many times? Where the cows flying through the air go.
Hey, listen. Later on,
and the fucking hurricane plane comes through and hits the cow.
Later on, I saw that exact same guy who was chasing those twisters. Later, he became a military guy who was in charge of Tom Cruise. So he's pretty smart. It might happen.
It might happen. It just might happen.
Yeah.
Oh, the world you live in. It must be. I would love to live in this world.
We live in a world where there's fucking jellyfish with no buttholes. And necropants.
And
bridge trolls.
Oh, yeah. And bridge trolls.
And heart machines.
Which is responsible for all the warm weather.
Oh,
and the flooding and everything else.
Oh, God.
It's responsible for Florida.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And you expect me not to live in the world with the other stuff?
Where's your bridge troll? You're talking about the bunny man?
All of it. I'm talking about shit's just all fucked up right now. There's nothing that can come back and bring us back.
You know who could bring us back?
Who?
Cody.
Oh.
Cody the bridge dweller could bring us back.
You have no idea where he is. He's lost forever.
One day I'm going to find Cody again.
The city is eating him.
I really hope not.
That's true.
Cody, if you're out there listening, we're looking for you, bud. I want to buy you a Guinness to repay you for your kindness.
The city has eaten him.
No. I refuse to believe that.
We just need to go have a good cry. Here's another health tip for you guys. If you're out there and you need to cry, you should, because it promotes...
Listen to music by the fake Eric Clapton.
It promotes endorphins in your brain. That's why crying makes you feel better.
Oh.
So it's good for you.
Go ahead and cry.
Joe Skelly knows it's true. He's in the medical field. They tell people to cry there all the time.
Okay.
They make people cry all the time.
No, well, I don't know that. This sounds like this advice you're giving is like the it's like the facts you get off the bottom of a Snapple cap.
Yes.
Right?
Dude,
alleged facts.
All day I was thinking about how our podcast has turned into a Snapple cap podcast.
It shouldn't be this way.
That is what it is.
No.
We talk about the most fucked up shit. Pink dolphins. Mothman prophecies.
You went there.
That can go on a Snapple.
You actually went there.
That can go in a Snapple bottle. Tom Cruise's life. That could be summed up in a Snapple bottle.
All right.
On the bottom of the cap, 2 words.
What's that?
LoJack. If they would have given him LoJack in any one of those movies he was in, he would have been fine. All of his movies solved by LoJack.
LoJack, the crime device?
Shout out to LoJack.
The crime device?
Yeah. They just had to LoJack Tom Cruise's ass. He would have been fine.
I'm not following. Nobody
can.
Explain.
His movies don't make any fucking sense.
None of them?
Right.
Risky business.
Absolutely.
Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Nothing
risky about it.
Top Gun. 1 and 2.
Come on. A guy like him, like he's going to make it? Look at him.
What, good looks don't make you a fighter pilot?
No.
What makes you a fighter pilot?
You have to be a funny looking motherfucker. It's always the funny looking ones that are out there.
They're the aces?
Yeah, Tom Cruise
is this why you never see pictures of
of real
ace fighter pilots?
Exactly. Tom Cruise is what they want to look like with his bird chest. Looks like he's never done a real push-up. Tom Cruise, you crazy bastard. Stop doing those knee push-ups.
Oh my, here we go. You're just swinging for the fences today. Swinging for the fences. Because I was talking to Nigel, because Nigel's trying to work on this. He's trying to work on getting that pilot's license, right?
Uh-oh.
And he's like, fucking pilots are fucking math nerds. That's why they're pilots.
Oh boy.
He goes,
yeah, that's true.
He goes, it's not, he goes, the hard part isn't the flying. The hard part is all the math and shit. He's like, we get these weather printouts, for what's going on for the next 6 hours. And he goes, it's a bunch of letters and numbers that come out on like a ticker tape.
Right.
And it's like Morse code, and you have to translate that to what's going on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's fucking ridiculous, fucking math nerds. That's all he was saying. There he is. He's doing his
Would you want to be a pilot?
Would I?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to be until my mother smashed that idea and said I was going to get blown up.
Skelly's going to get blown up.
I was going to get blown up, and then that kind of ruined that.
Did you know that there was a difference between international astronauts and non-international astronauts?
Oh my God, this is another Snapple thing.
I'm serious.
What,
I didn't know that.
What's the difference between
I have
international
no idea.
and
I'm asking
national
you.
astronauts? Where did
I'm
you find
asking
this?
Well, I didn't. I found out that international astronauts have to learn Russian, right? Have to be 100% fluent in Russian so they can go to international space stations, which are, some of them are done in fully Russian, right? So what?
Well, we have first of all, the International Space Station was a joint venture
Well, apparently it's all done in Russian
with the Russians.
because you're going up to 1,100 hours worth of fucking school hours to learn Russian.
Well,
to speak
okay,
it.
you know why?
No, I'm not an astronaut.
I'm going to explain why.
Uh-oh.
Because when the United States lost its space program after the space shuttles,
Okay.
we were launching astronauts into outer space on Russian Soyuz rockets.
So they had to learn Russian.
Right.
Right, but my question is like, imagine
But
if
that Russian's not going to help you if that 60% possibility of exploding on the pad happens. It doesn't matter how much Russian you know.
What I'm curious about is imagine becoming an astronaut and then being like, hey, I don't want to be international in space. I just want to be national, so don't teach me Russian. Like,
Well,
how's that work?
You would never go on the International Space Station.
That's the dumbest. Where the fuck do you go then? That non-international space station?
There is none.
So you're just
No.
a scrub lord? You got to go to the bitch space station?
No,
Nobody's at that bitch
What happens is
station.
you go to outer space and you come right back. You
That's
don't spend any extended time in
Dumbest
space.
fucking thing I've ever heard.
Well, they had that one. Remember,
Where's the national line versus the international line in space?
It
That's all
does.
I'm
There is
asking.
no. It's so dumb. That's
Right.
dumb.
It makes no sense.
Well,
How'd you like? Speaking of space, how'd you like those pictures of the Space Force that came out?
Oh, the guys' uniforms?
Oh yeah.
Fucking hot garbage.
How did you like the dude who was wearing one that almost looked like a dress? I was like,
My
bro,
man,
did you have this tailored
none
at
of
all?
it. None of
or-
it was. It was a 4-star general. Like, get your shit tailored, my man. You could
Bro,
afford a
He
tailor.
looked like he was wearing like.
That thing was terrible.
That looked like a foreign uniform almost.
It looked
had
like a
so much
It
garb
looked
on
like
it.
a North Korean uniform.
I wasn't gonna say it, but Joe Skelly said it.
I did. Dude, that thing was horrendous. It was horrendous.
Bro.
Like, go to a tailor. You can afford one,
Right.
right? You're supposed to have your uniforms tailored anyway. It looked like he just took that shit off the rack
Right.
at TJ Maxx and put it on and stood up for that picture.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Space Force, here we come. Hey, how do you become a 4-star general in a fucking military that's never done anything?
So
How's that work?
they took all those generals from the Air Force
Oh,
and moved them over.
I'm not gonna say nothing about that. Okay.
We should ask
Whatever.
we should ask Parks about that.
Yeah. Parks, you giving away generals?
Apparently.
I'll take 2.
Yeah.
I don't want none that think Guam's gonna tip though.
Yeah. If they believe Guam's going to tip, we want nothing to do with them.
I can't handle that.
No, sir.
Under
But if Space Force opens up the doors for space shuttle door gunners, I'm looking for that job.
oh my god. Do they even have the laser gun yet ready?
In top secret labs, they've
It's
been
gonna be like
I
Star
know
Wars.
I know people who've been I know nations that have been working on laser guns to shoot down drones and to shoot down missiles.
This
So
is
if
not
you-
a comedy podcast at all.
It's not a
Go the other way. This is what happens when Butters is not around.
Look, so is Space Force? This all I can think of is Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk out there looking for the
Why'd you
ladies.
even bring up Captain Kirk? Now all I can think about is one thing too. Son of a bitch. See?
What's that?
I don't want to talk about it.
No.
Nope.
No, that Captain Kirk apparently had
Nope.
had a lot of let's say a lot of pocket personality.
I walked around with that secret in my head locked away for 30 years. And now it's out there and I haven't stopped thinking about how it's out there. I'm not even sure if it's out there yet.
That's why Captain Kirk is out there trying to
Nope.
experiment with all the women of the universe.
Oh my god.
Let's see if I'm going to meet my match.
That's enough. This is all bad.
I wonder if his Wikipedia page has that mentioned on it. Like that chef.
We're done. I'm getting
But
more
yet I
alcohol.
get censored on Wikipedia and these guys can put all
Right.
kinds of fucking bullshit on there.
I'm gonna write Joe Skelly's Wikipedia.
You know what? We should we should totally
Ooh.
write a Wikipedia page for the podcast.
I'm telling you, I don't think they would accept it. They would know it was you.
No, they wouldn't. No, they
Well,
wouldn't.
the episode is listed. Joe Skelly gets banned by Wikipedia or some shit like that. So they might. Somebody might.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. We're gonna do this. Let's make a Wikipedia page.
I'm scared.
I love it.
All right.
97 seconds.
Everything you need.
We love it. Keep listening. Like, subscribe, hit that bell. Like us on your fucking things, and then write Pandora and ask them why we're not on there.
And lick your smart fridge.